All right, we're going to start a couple minutes early tonight. I'll call this meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, Kristen, go for it. I'm here.
Ed Repay,
I am here.
Joe Skavarik,
Here.
Nicole Kelly,
Here.
Jen Wilson,
Here.
John Novosich,
Here.
Irene Merlis,
Here.
Carly Morris,
Here.
Christian Bartholomew,
Here.
Robin Arbonitis.
All right, first up, approval of the minutes from the February 4th, 2025 meeting.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to accept those minutes.
Okay, we have a motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Next up, approval of donations.
We have 4 dog park donations from Mary Graffin, Patrick Farini, Cindy Farini, and Sharon Moore. On each of those were $50.
Oh, thank you very much if you're watching.
I'd like to make a motion to approve and thank those people for the donations for a total of 200.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Correspondence?
None.
None. All right, reports from staff. Looks like we got some stuff here.
Okay, so the first thing that I will go over, I put together the revenue that we brought in from both Civic and EventMe. Civic is the program we use for registration for programs or ticketed events, and then EventMe is the website that we use for vendors to sign up, so for spots for craft shows, party in the parks, etc.
Okay.
One thing to note with the dollar amounts on here, this is what we brought in. That doesn't include any refunds or security deposits may come out of this. This is just purely what we brought in. So some
Sure.
of this may be coming out still,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Yep, I got you. Okay, any questions?
And this is the new program that you guys are using, right? With the.
No, this is the one that we've been using for several years now. We haven't gotten a new one just yet.
Oh, okay.
We're still looking. And then also, when I say that it's things that may be coming out as well, if you look at the room rental dollar amounts, it may differ a little bit from Kristen's because mine do include security deposits and Kristen's do not on
Gotcha.
hers.
Fair enough. Okay, excellent.
I don't have much to report, just working on summer, getting everything off the ground, booking bands, everything else that goes with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you guys have any questions from last week's report. Nope.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
No, do you?
I do, but we could wait till old business too, if we want.
Okay.
Perfect, thanks.
Oh, I guess that's old business. We're here. Right?
No, we're,
Kristen?
Kristen
Yeah.
still has
Oh,
reports.
okay.
Yeah.
So community center reports, we're actually down from the number of rentals we had last year.
Okay.
But we are up 1,000, almost $1,500.
Okay.
And then we've had 14 rentals so far this year.
Okay.
Picnic shelter rentals, we are also down by 3 from this point last year. And we're down about $450 in revenue for that.
Okay.
But
Anything you attribute that to?
some people are surprised by the price because we did jump.
Okay. So is
That
it?
could be it. I mean, I'm not saying that that is definitely it, but from the reactions that people have given me when I tell them the price, it's a definite possibility that that is a factor.
Okay, so we may have raised it too much.
Possibly.
What was the old price and the new price?
It was $90 for a resident, and now we have raised it to $150.
Oh, okay.
There was a limit on.
But there was a limit, yeah, there was a limit on people, so it was $90 for 75 and under, and then it was $180 for 75 to 150. And we did 150 for no matter what amount of people you have. It
Gotcha.
was just a flat fee.
Gotcha.
So-
For how long?
So the timing is the same. It's from 10 a.m. to dusk.
Gotcha,
There's
okay.
no like time.
I gotcha. Okay. Okay,
So
okay. Do us a favor, just keep a tally of that or keep an
Yeah,
eye on that.
I'll
Just be
keep
interested to
tracking it.
know how often you hear that comment.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Any other thoughts, questions? Nope, okay.
Brad, quickly, we did get a communication board installed at Autumn Creek Playground.
I saw
through-
that.
Through the Emily Smiles, has something that was in the works last year, and they finally got enough donations and got a break in the weather to install it.
Okay. Any other reports? All right, hearing none, we can jump to old business. Sounds like you've got a couple of questions you
Okay.
want to bring up. Go for it.
Yes, I do. So last month, we had our report, and just a couple of things I wanted to just maybe discuss a little bit with everybody here. Since I've been on the board, I've noticed the girls softball league seems to be, having a hard time funding their leagues, asking for reductions and stuff, and the billboards and stuff. So I took this month and I tried to, talk to the people who are running the leagues. And the reason why it sparked my interest is because I saw the concession stand. And I'm a little confused by the number because it kind of appears that we made 23,000 off of concessions just from girls softball.
That's not just from girls softball, that's including NSA tournaments as well.
Okay. So, and then I did find an old sheet and it was like, so maybe is it more like 8,000 for just the girls? No, that was the revenue. There's 2025 concession revenue, girls softball, 17,000, is that?
That sounds right. Without having it in front of me, I couldn't tell you for sure.
Okay, and that number on this sheet, that was just what we brought in, that wasn't the net, correct? Because that didn't include take into consideration staff and,
Again, I'd have to see the sheet you're referring to, because I
Okay.
have done breakdowns of the net versus the gross, so unless I can see what you're looking at.
it's like
Well-
lumped together. so
One
that's
thing, when I make reports, mine are not taking account to everything that we need to purchase, the staff that needs to run it. So my numbers are whole, in a sense, where when they do reports, they're taking account of all of that stuff. So if there is staff present, how many staff hours, I know Carly does have that broken down. We're not even talking about just the actual event, we're talking about staff, maintenance staff who need to put in some kind of effort beforehand to get those fields ready.
Okay,
So, yeah, so I guess, I don't want to say it's not deceiving, but I mean, I'm giving you more of the flat rate. Like, this is what we brought in, this is what went out. All those little logistics on it, the ending or whatever, that would come from Carly.
Yeah, so based on that sheet, that is the net. Everything's broken down on that one.
okay.
But the revenue stayed on there is the gross, the breakdown percentage, if that's what you're asking, on the right top.
Yeah,
That's the gross revenue.
that's the gross.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then what we pulled in overall on the net is in a different,
'Cause
on the left side.
Because the net puts it all together. So that's like with the tournaments and stuff.
No, we make more
So
from
it's-
girls softball.
So gross would be before expenses. Net would be,
Yes.
right? Net would
Yeah.
be after all expenses and
But the way
Everything else.
but the way it's listed, if I'm trying to like just tease out what we make from the girls softball league alone, that's kind of where the net of that. Because it doesn't sound like they want the concession back, but it also sounds like maybe other people made that decision for the current board members, and they just don't have that opportunity to, help fund their league. And so I'm just wondering, we had a nice bank here of, non-reverting funds this year, and made quite a bit, maybe not as much as I originally thought, off of their concessions. But I'm just wondering if there's, maybe can we give back to their league? Like, I know they need new equipment this year. They haven't had new balls or bats.
I know when we started this, a bid basically went out for concession. It was offered to them, and they denied it. I know there's a different board now. But two, it was also with sharing, because we needed them to do everything in a whole. So if they wanted to take on concession, that was totally fine. But if we had tournaments or anything, we needed them there for it.
Yeah.
It was kind of like an all or nothing.
Oh, gotcha.
And they didn't want to do
Didn't want
that,
it.
so we ended up doing it.
That was definitely offered to them.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
it
mean, we
was.
went to them, we approached them, and we approached a couple other
Correct.
individuals or organizations as
Right.
well. And it was,
Right. And then like
all
all the
turned us down.
equipment in there is ours, so then it becomes them using our equipment, or if they bring their own, there's not enough space in there for all that, so.
Right.
and,
Yeah.
the one point that I would make is, we're not making that money off girls softball. We're making that money off the people that are attending girls softball games. The money that we're making from girls softball is what we're charging them for the lease.
Right, but
It would be a little bit of a different story, though, if it was just Schererville girls softball was there, but
Yeah.
it's not. It's girls softball from all around the county, so that's also something to keep in consideration, too.
Yeah.
With all that being said, if there is a change of heart on their side, I don't think anybody here is willing or not willing to listen to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I know that
Okay.
we begged them, because I know you guys don't like doing it necessarily, but it's an opportunity it's always an opportunity to raise money.
Okay.
Have we had that conversation with the new board that's in place? Have we reapproached them about that?
No,
No.
this
You asked
is,
them about that?
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think they've brought it to our attention at all.
Correct.
Except for, what we talked about last month.
And also on that, we're not putting in every expense. There's no utility cost
Yep.
in that. Those are pretty direct cost of staff time actually at the concession, product cost that doesn't take into account running, to Gordon's or other places to get the items. And the total there for girls softball, and Carly, correct me if I'm wrong, includes the tournament, would include tournament revenue.
Yes. Yes.
Not just, the typical game night revenue, so.
Yeah, but John makes a good point, though. The numbers that you see for staff on there are just physically the hours that our staff is there, working when the concession stand is open, maybe give or take an hour beforehand for setup. But it doesn't account for having to go to the store X amount of times, times so many hours. There's a lot of miscellaneous things that are not in there that we could put in there, so.
Okay, okay. And I know like on the report too, there was, miscellaneous, overall, and that was, quite a bit of money. So I'm sure that's probably where some of that falls into, all those little hours here and there.
Sorry, over the years, me and John have tried to pinpoint down every single penny. It's hard to do that when you have all this. That's why we put in an overhead on our budgets and for programs and events. So basically, like he said, for lights, NIPSCO, all these other miscellaneous fees I guess to say if we gave it over to them, which, hey, but now we still have to pay the water bill. We
Yeah.
still have to pay NIPSCO, so do we still have to maintain the fields? It's a trickle effect, so.
Is that where the cost for the fields, though? I mean, I know the concessions is, kind of a little
Right.
bit separate, but then we do get the cost for the fields that we charge them, that
Correct. Well, the reason why too that would be different is it concessions non-reverting?
Yeah, concession is
And-
non-reverting, and ball fields is general.
Right,
Oh,
so those are
okay.
two different accounts. So they account for two different types of people.
Okay.
Maintenance is paid out of general, everyone else is non-reverting.
Okay.
So,
And if you remember when they were here, we went through, like, we actually spelled out for them, this is what our cost is to maintain these fields. And there was no margin in there at all, right? So,
Yeah.
you know, my posture is, we are always open to talking to them if they need assistance in some way, or if we need to brainstorm some things, they just need to approach us. You know, we obviously can't read their minds, and we don't know, you know, what they're struggling with, but,
I mean,
trying to
I
be
think
very fair with them.
The people I talked to, they're very happy. Like, no, you know, they're not complaining. I was just, you know, asking about the billboards and, you know, kind of inquiring if that's gonna help. I know we talked about that last week, like how much they're gonna charge for the sponsorships and stuff like that. And if they, you know, if they get a lot of people to sponsor, that will help a lot. But, you know, then I just took the opportunity to talk. And like, and the only reason why I wanted to talk about it today is because when I saw that number, 23,000, I was like, whoa. So
Right.
I just wanted to understand that. And that's kind of what I was getting at last month too, to kind of see where the, you know, the money's going after the fact and stuff. So, yeah, so I just, you know, I just wanted to understand it a little better. But definitely, it makes me feel a little better that it's not just like 23 off of the
Right.
girls softball. So,
yeah.
We would be charging $5 for a water.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So, but, yeah, I'll go back to them and see if this new board has interest in
right.
talking to you guys again about the, you know, at least providing that opportunity to them, I think is fair.
And if there was interest from them, what is the drop dead date? When would they need to let you guys know that?
Well, that would probably have to be a next year lease conversation, considering this one's already signed and everything's done with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
And one of the issues that we deal with, whether it be soccer or softball, is one group wants this, and then 2 years from now, we got new leadership.
Yep. And
That
they
don't want it.
They don't want it.
So now the continuity of, okay, we're gonna do it, now they're gonna do it, 2 years from now, new board, we don't have the people to do it, can you do it? You know, so I think that's one of the issues we deal with both of those organizations. There's just a lot of turnover at the leadership.
Yeah,
Right, and we
I think
have
it's a good point,
staff
Joe.
that are just for ball fields.
yeah.
You know, I mean, yes, they do a couple things here and there, but there are a number of people out there that don't. They're just hired for ball fields. So that's gonna tell you something too. If we got rid of them, and then like he said, the next year they decided they didn't wanna do it, so now we have to go find.
It's also really hard to find people who
Yeah.
just want to work the ball fields and/or concession. It's
Yes.
not like hiring someone for programs or events. It's much harder to find them, so.
Yeah.
Right.
And then when they go to Stevens Park, they don't have any concessions because,
Soccer uses that one.
Soccer uses
Yes.
that, yeah.
okay, and that's
But
usually
I
at
know
the
there
se-
was a point where they were
There was.
sharing it.
Yeah, they were
so
sharing it. They
that's
had
kinda
equipment
up
in
to
there,
them.
I think. They still had equipment
Yeah,
at
they
at
still
the
have.
last
That's what
meeting.
they
Soccer
said,
was like, hey, you
yeah.
still have stuff in
Right.
here.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Right.
is that something they could discuss too, that even the Stephen Park, when they're there, they could do stuff if they wanted? Not this year, probably.
Yeah,
but
again, I
next
would say
year?
not for this year because leases have already been signed. I mean,
Okay.
I
Like
would,
if-
that would have to be discussion between the two organizations as well,
Yeah.
Okay,
not just us.
Right.
okay.
But as long as we're talking about that, I know leases are signed, but when soccer operates Stevens Park, if softball is just there, is somebody manning or operating that concession stand?
If they have games that coincide with soccer's, yes.
So if there's no soccer going on, but softball, there's probably no one running that concession stand.
That would be correct, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But most of the games are at Rorman, so.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Anything else? Any other great questions? Any other
Thanks, Jen.
questions? No?
Not tonight.
All right,
Yeah.
sounds good.
Anytime you have questions, just let us
Yeah.
know. We're very open. so.
All right, thank you.
Any other old business? All right, we'll jump forward into new business. First up, consider the approval of the tournament and fee request for Indiana NSA Fall Brawl.
Okay, so there's two papers in front of you. One is a letter asking for a fee reduction, not just for Fall Brawl, but also for the tournament that we just approved last month,
Okay.
which is Midsummer. If you guys want to read that or have any questions, I can answer any of those. And then below that is the tournament request for Fall Brawl, which we have been doing with them for almost 6 years now.
Yeah. Is their request in line with our guidance as far as reductions go?
What do you mean?
Well, normally, if somebody asks for a discount, we go to the grid, right? That grid that we
Where's
thought
the
would be so
matrix?
helpful.
The grid.
Where's Tom when we need him? He always had a copy of it, just right on hand.
But they are requesting the fee go from $350 to $200
Okay.
per field.
And have we done that in the past?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Any thoughts, questions, discussion?
I guess the only question I have, and maybe we could check on it next year if we happen to approve this, is everyone else, they're playing in multiple areas. I mean, they're probably playing Crown Point, they're probably playing in Hobart. Are they all getting charged the same amount, for the same thing?
I do not know the answer to that. I know for World Series, they're charged a different rate, but all of the facilities in the area, we all charge the same rate.
Okay.
So for that one, yes.
Okay.
But for this one, I do not know.
Joe, I don't believe this one is affiliated with anyone else. This is self-contained at Rorman Park, to the best of my knowledge.
I believe Fall Brawl is contained just to Rorman. Midsummer, they have done 2 parks before.
Okay.
I don't know if they're doing it this year. I'd have to double check with them, but World Series for sure is at multiple different
Yeah,
facilities.
the World Series I knew about, but I didn't think these went to anybody but Rorman.
Yeah, that one is just us.
Great questions. Any other questions?
I'm good.
Okay, we need a motion.
I will make a motion to accept the reduced rental fee for Indiana NSA tournament, and this is also
Midsummer.
midsummer tournament, for $200 per field per day, with an additional fee of $15 per hour for light usage.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second?
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries 5-0. Next up, consider approval of the donation request from St. Michael's.
Okay, another one that we've been doing for several years, but St. Mike's once again reached out to us of donating a annual dog park pass and a shelter rental certificate. The value on both of those would be up to $100 for the dog park pass and then up to $150 if you needed a dollar amount for the shelter rental.
Is that what we did last year? I know-
Yes, for their passport event, yeah.
Okay.
Same thing.
Then I'd like to make a motion to approve the request from St. Michael's.
I'll
the-
second.
The donation request for the annual dog park pass and the
That was
Rita
quick.
Rorman or Stephen Park shelter certificate.
All right, we got a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries 5-0. We need to consider acceptance of the beer garden RFP for the Celebrate Schererville Fest.
So I did add the proposal submittal here. The guaranteed flat fee is $7,500, and that remains the same.
Okay.
It's 8%, the same as last year.
Okay.
I know that a couple of their items did go up $1, but, so water went down $1, it was $2 last year, and then I want to say the draft beers and seltzers went up $1.
Okay,
Yeah, those are very reasonable.
Besides that, everything else is exactly the same.
awesome.
I will make a motion to accept the Schererville Firefighters Union Local 4279's proposal submittal for the beer garden for the Celebrate Schererville Fest.
All right, we have a motion.
Second?
Second.
That's a fourth. Okay. 2 seconds, that's a fourth. Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Consider acceptance of the beer garden RFP for the fireworks.
Okay, we, we did not receive one
Oh,
at this time, so yes.
so we'll
So
table
there's
that for
nothing
next
to
time.
approve. Yeah, if we're still on the lookout, we will let you know.
All right. That's great. Any other business from the board? Any business from the floor?
There you go.
Please state your name and address into the microphone for the record. Since this is being broadcast online, the microphone is important, so if you could speak into that, we would appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Hi.
Can you help her? It's very tall. I wouldn't be able to reach that either.
Me either.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. Hi. I know you guys all know us here, Logan's Love. So we're here again to always thank you guys for supporting us and for supporting autism. And we're here to cordially invite you guys to our Easter egg hunt and all of our events for this year. Hopefully you guys can promote us, put us up in the lobby or any of your businesses, and maybe come out and check it out this year. And that's about it. And we're gonna leave all of our save the dates with you as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. Appreciate you guys. Any other business from the floor? Anyone want to make a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
I will second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Meeting is adjourned. Have a great St. Patrick's Day, everyone.